Hey, it's time for Radio with Ben.
Hello everyone, welcome. It's me, Ben Povey. Yes, I am back. I am so sorry for the long-awaited videos, but what I wanted to do, I'm just going to do a quick explanation, and then I have got a special guest for you. Ooh, that's exciting. And, okay, so I said I was going to do some special guests. I've got two lined up already, but what I wanted to do is turn this into a series. So what I'm going to do, I like to film all my videos and then edit them all at once and then put them up all at once, which is why they've been taking a while. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm trying to work on this. I've had this idea for a small documentary, and hopefully I will work on that and it'll be, all good. So that's the update. That's what's been going on. That's why I haven't made many videos. But let's get to the special guest now. So, special guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello everybody, my name is Chantel Sherlock and I'm Awesome Aspie's mum, and for 50 years now I have been a medium.
Okay, so first off, some people might not know who Awesome Aspie is. So can you just say who that is?
Yeah, Awesome Aspie has been doing some videos about...
Now, how is she related?
Oh, sorry, my daughter is Awesome Aspie, and she's been doing some videos with Ben Povey and Makeup Girl, and I just thought I'd have a little chat with you all because some people are interested in mediumship, not everybody, and that is their right, and but those who do enjoy it, I'd like to tell you a little bit how it all started.
Yeah, okay. So obviously, NVTV, this is the channel it's on, and this is the one that Natalie and I do. I know Natalie hasn't been around, but her schedule's quite busy. She's got a busy life, so she's been doing stuff on the farm and stuff. If you have been following the channel for a long time, she's got land and all this things going on. But yeah, anyway, so to simplify things, what is a medium?
A medium is somebody who can contact and see spirit world. When I say spirit world, when people have lost their loved ones, I have an ability to see them and contact them for people who are wanting to speak to them.
Okay, so what I want to know is, how did it all start for you?
Well, I was 5 years old and living in London. My grandmother used to pray for all her relatives. Took her 3 hours a night. But the thing was, she didn't realise I had a bit of a gift. I didn't see monsters in my wardrobe or under the bed. I had spirit people walking along the landing every time she prayed for somebody. So there was about 6 people walking across the landing. So it was a little bit scary at the time because I was so young. And at that time, I didn't know who to talk to about it.
So you kept it quiet?
I did very much so.
Okay, people, if you hear background noise, I'm just going to adjust the microphone here. It's really difficult to, get the microphone in the right place. I've struggled with that. Anyway, so I don't know if you heard background noise, but okay. So when did you start telling people? It must have been difficult to, because people think...
That's right. Well, I went through school and I didn't say anything, and you kind of lose your ability at school because there's so many different things going on, like work and things. But as I had a wonderful grandmother who was really interested in, she had a different sort of religion. Well, she was Christian, and she loved all her family in spirit world, and she would pray for each one of them at night. And then I saw them across the landing, as I said. So it was very hard to tell people, because you don't know at that age,
Mm.
you know, whether it's your imagination or what.
Yeah.
But then
Must have been quite scary for you.
it was, and then when I was a lot older, in 1987, I was in a bit of a car accident, and the car was hit from behind, and I sort of went out for a couple of minutes. And when I came to, I felt really quite amazing. You know, I wasn't in pain at all. And then a few weeks later, when I was working at primary school, doing some.
Can I just sorry?
Yeah.
I know you love talking about this, but I do have. We need to slow down a little bit,
Yeah.
just to get the audience used to it.
Yes.
So, so tell me about the story. Why? What inspired you? Actually, we'll get into that. There's so much stuff to get into.
I know.
Okay, so you had this car accident.
Yes.
And did because you said someone rescued you. Tell us about that.
Oh yes, well, I was 27 at the time and being bullied at work, and I thought I can't put up with this anymore. So as I was walking home from Greenford, I went to the station, the train station, stood on the platform, and I thought, that's it, I can't be bothered anymore with life. So I stood on the platform waiting for the train, and luckily for me, it was a
Sorry, carry on.
It was a bit late, and a gentleman walked up to my left-hand side and tapped me on the shoulder quite hard and said, "What's the time, love?" And he broke my concentration. Well, when I looked round, he disappeared. There was no sign of him at all. And I
So
thought,
it was an angel.
An angel, definitely. Because when I walked up and down the platform, I couldn't see him.
So you looked for him?
I did. There was a train parked in another part of the station, just a small train. Looked in all the carriages. He wasn't there.
Was he a normal person?
He
or
was
did he
a
have
normal
wings,
person.
or?
No, he didn't have wings. He was a normal person. But I've always responded to older people. My mum and dad brought us up a way that you respected others unless they hurt you, and then if they ask you a question,
of course, yeah.
help them across the road and things like that, which I've always done, so I've always had an empathy with older people. So I think that's why God sent an older gentleman.
Yeah. So do you remember how you became a Christian?
I was a Christian all my life. My mum took me to Sunday school on a Sunday, and we went to church. Mum and Dad stayed at home doing the Sunday dinner, and as children we used to go to church and Sunday school, and I always had a love for it,
Yeah.
And I think some people don't have to go to church to be a Christian, because many people in walks of life don't go to church and are beautiful people. They'll help anyone that they can, you know. So if you sort of help people along the way, that's been a Christian. If you're horrible and then still go to church, which I've known people to do, then that's up to their conscience and up to God, what if He wants to do with them after when they reach the
sky.
Reach the sky.
Reach for the sky.
Exactly.
So, if you I know you work as a medium now, as you give people readings, and they come to you to talk to their lost loved ones.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about that.
It's such a special gift, because when somebody has lost somebody dear to them, like we all have, and so they want that not closure, but some peace of mind to know that they're in a beautiful place in heaven, or what they could perceive to be heaven, then that's a lovely thing to be able to do for people. I've had children come through, young people, older people, mums and dads and granddads, all sharing the joy that how wonderful heaven is, and they're at peace. There's no pain, You know, it's just an incredible place to be.
So what's it like? Do you actually go, like, do you leave your body, or do you...
No, they come to me. What I do, I normally hold an object which is called psychometry, which could be a watch or ring or earring. I've even held a shoe in the past and gave a 2-hour reading from that shoe. So it's it's a beautiful gift, and I normally bring them on a psychic vibration. So I'm also a psychic medium. So when you hold a piece of joy, it's like a psychic.
What's the difference between a psychic medium and a normal medium?
Well, psychic is sort of bringing the loved ones to you. So when you actually see the spirit world, that is actually working as a medium. There's different types, you know. And when they do come through on an object, I can pick up also, if I look at a picture, I can pick up their ailments. So if they've got a bad chest, even people that are still alive, if somebody shows me a child or whatever, I can pick up whether it's a chest infection, asthma, earache, whatever. So I've done that quite a bit. I have written to the police because I would like to work for the police, and I know they work really, really hard. But one day, if they, have problems solving a case, I would love to work for them and, just hold a person's object and look at a picture and see how I could help in that way.
Yeah.
I know it's a very difficult subject sometimes because police, they really do work hard, and it is a subject that is still can be quite controversial.
Yeah.
But if it's done with love and truth, then I think there's an opening really for that sort of work.
Yeah. How do you manage to? I know, obviously, through life, I'm not going to mention anything, but you have had some really rough times through your life.
I have.
And how do you manage to balance it out? Like, you must get frustrated with the spirit world because you're so connected, and you're one of the most connected people to God and to the spirit world. It must be hard. Difficult to balance it.
Definitely. We're all spiritual people having a physical experience. So no matter how that person's life is on earth, it's like a learning curve. So God, I believe, puts us on the earth to grow, and as we grow, when we reach spirit world, then we've got another amazing journey ahead of us. I don't believe that when the body dies, the spirit, our soul, dies. We go on to a beautiful place. So I know, however hard life is here, I know that life will be released, and that doesn't scare me.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So, guys, there's so much more to talk about. We are gonna take a little break now, but when we come back, we're going to be talking a lot more about this, and hopefully I will turn this into a little series. And so we're going to come back and we'll carry on with the conversation.
Thank you. Hello, if you're interested in spiritual readings, then you can contact Chantal Sherlock on 07368 348 987, and I will look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Hello, we're back again. Yes, if you want a spiritual reading, contact this lovely lady who I am interviewing. So she does spiritual readings. She is very connected with the spirit world, and that is what our show is about today. So just remind everybody who you are, because sometimes people come in halfway through or they stop it and start it. So just remind everybody.
Oh yes, I'm Chantal Sherlock, and I'm also Matthew's mum, Natalie Sherlock. I don't know if you've heard her shows already, but she's quite an exceptional girl. She also has the gift too.
So there was some stuff you wanted to say. So
that's right. After my husband died, Natalie was 3.5, I was going through a bit of a bad patch and was thinking, oh, what's life all about? And somebody was saying, why don't you go and see a medium? So I went to a local spiritualist church in Ruislip, and that was really quite interesting. And also had a friend, a teacher friend, who we went to the SAGB in London that was set up by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Funny enough, our surname Sherlock, so it was quite interesting because he wrote Sherlock Holmes. This gentleman gave us a reading while we were there, and he said to my daughter, Dad's thanking you for the teddy bear that you gave him. Well, I couldn't think at the time what the gentleman was on about, but when I got home, I was looking through the pictures, and Natalie actually gave him a teddy bear wreath, which was incredible.
And this is the first reading that you had?
I've had some when I was a lot younger, but this was the first and one that impressed me. And I thought, well, maybe this is what I was seeing when I was young, spirit world.
So
that's how I got to speak to people about.
What inspired you to become one of these?
Well, I used to do a lot of work for the school. I worked 6 years voluntary, helping children, doing craft work and baking and all sorts of things. And I said to this teaching assistant, I said, I can see somebody holding your handbrake. Now, I don't normally give warnings or anything like that or scare people, but she said the night before she was in the car with her boyfriend. He put the handbrake on and it came off in his hand.
Right.
So I was quite impressed with that. And also another teaching assistant lover, I said, oh, be careful because I think your kettle's going to blow. And that night it did. The kettle blew. So,
wow.
And that was how it started.
When it's little things like that, do you like? How do you sense it? Do you feel it or do you see it?
I see it. Yeah, they normally give me pictures in my third eye, which is sort of centred in the middle of your forehead, just about there.
By the way, she's touching my forehead.
Yeah, I'm touching his forehead. Yeah,
you can't see it because
just above his nose. But a lot of mediums get pictures in their third eye. A lot of you would know what a third eye is. So, and the third eye is spiritual.
Just for people if you don't know.
Yeah, well, third eye is something spirit world would actually try and contact you, and they would actually show themselves to you in body form, but when they come through, they're kind of see-through because they haven't got a body anymore.
So what do they look like?
They look like you, but see-through.
So
you can see through them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Children, you can't so much. They come in like solid form more, So.
So how do you know if they're spirits? Like with the, that.
Well, if a child has gone to spirit world that has been miscarried, they would show me that baby in a christening gown. If the child has touched the earth, has been born and gone over, say, a couple of months, or whatever, they would put it in a cot. So I can distinguish, and if a child is to be born, they kind of hover above that person's head, like the mother or the father, and they put them either in a pink outfit or a blue outfit, so I can distinguish, because it's all a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle at times. People, different mediums work different ways, but that's how they show themselves to me. And
so, as you know, people, in my... the interview that I did with my dad, if you've heard it, please go listen to it if you haven't heard it. It tells you, it goes more in depth into my disability and stuff. But the reason I mention it in this one is because we mentioned in that interview about my brother, and he, this is a difficult subject for me. So he, passed away before I met him, and we like to think that he gave his strength to me, and so you So you obviously see kids, like you say, you
Yeah.
see them. So if you was to ask somebody, if you would like to talk to one of the spirits,
Yes.
how would you communicate with younger ones?
Well, I normally talk to my spirit guide, who's my nephew Dan. He brings them through.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been there nearly 2 years now, 2 years in September, and he will bring young people through normally.
Yeah.
And then if it's needed for him to bring young people, but he does also bring adults through. And so I've had whole family conversations through Dan. Dan will bring them through, and they're pretty polite.
Yeah.
Most spirit world, spirit world, they will
Yeah.
line up. I don't know if anyone's seen the film Ghost, but it's a bit like that. They would line up. But there are some that want to jump in and say, "Oi, I want to." And sometimes you have to say, "Well, just a minute, I'm talking to this person." But then if they're really insistent, then I will just ask the other person to wait a minute and then give that message, because they get quite
hold up, spirits.
They get quite excited, like us.
Be like, hold up, spirits. One at a time.
There's one incredible thing is that they don't lose their personality. So if they were grumpy on the earth, they could be right grumpy, so and so in spirit world.
And I saw that somewhere actually on
because
YouTube.
if they come through as a lovely hello, really happy having. They're not going to know that person is, that the relative that's still on the earth. They say, well, my granddad was a right grumpy old so-and-so,
And yours, can you explain what a spirit guide is?
Spirit guide is somebody who's gone on before and he's been up into heaven, and a lot of them are angels, guardian angels, but some can be relatives that you've lost in the past, and that they will help you bring the spirit people through.
Yeah, and so your spirit guide is Dan.
Yeah.
Can you tell us who Dan is?
Yeah, Dan is my lovely nephew, and he went before, and he's been gone nearly 2 years now, and he was 21. We all miss him very much, but he's incredible because he will bring people through.
And I know he was very connected to the spirit world.
He was very connected to the spirit world, and he just, incredible.
Another thing I wanted to talk about is, what is that thing called? I don't know all the technical terms. What's the thing called where you leave your body?
Oh yes, he could come out of his body, and it was. I'll try and think now. Oh gosh, astral travel. Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah, Natalie's in the room.
I didn't know what it was, but yeah, he could astral travel. He can come out of his body and walk around the room and go back into his body. He said it was like peeling a banana. Very unusual sensation. He could, meditate and then.
What an analogy!
Incredible. I'd love to be able to do it, but then I might be a bit too nervous with that sort of thing.
I'd be scared. Like, what if my spirit doesn't go back in my body?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I have a great faith in the spirit world, and but I would never go on an aeroplane again. I have a terrible fear of flying. So maybe in my past life I was a pilot and didn't come back.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that people do have, which is.
I mean, technically, Christians. I haven't heard about Christians talk about past life, because I would associate that with a different religion.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
the Buddhism, is it Buddha? Sorry?
Hindu.
Oh, Hindu and Buddhism and things like that.
Hindu,
yeah. Sorry for stuttering there on the radio.
That's all right. I stutter all the time.
I know. Yes, people do have past life, but if you go into a church, a C of E church, a Catholic church, it's based on the belief system of God and Jesus, which is wonderful. But they don't always talk about the spirit side of life, which is understandable, I suppose. It's their belief, and some people find Christian churches like CB and Catholic to
Yeah.
be. That's all they need. You know.
So, is there a particular day where the spirit energy is stronger?
All Souls Day, it is definitely. Halloween.
Mm.
In different countries, we dress up and that, but in other countries, they'll all go to the churchyards with candles and pray for their loved ones, which is incredible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I have every respect in every religion, as long as they don't hurt us,
Yeah.
then good on them.
Yeah. So, what have you learned, like through the years? Tell us some of the things you've learned about, how they communicate and.
Yes, well, it's quite incredible actually. When I start reading, I hold an object like a ring or watch or necklace, and I bring the spirit world through on that love vibration, on that person's vibration. So they will start talking to me, or they'll give me some people take me to Blackpool and into the big dance hall, and they've been dancing around the room, and I say, they've just taken me to Blackpool to the dance, the dance hall where they big shiny ball, and they say, well, they used to go up there and have a dance, and I said, well, they haven't changed, it's they do, people who wanted to do travelling in this life and didn't get to. I've had spirit people going to Canada, and they said, well, they were from Canada and things like that.
I know some people they say they want to be open to the spirit world, but turns out they're not. Like I know you've had some like that. So can you?
Yes, some people are. Say they're interested, when they actually come to you, they're quite closed. So it can be difficult when that person's a bit closed. They sort of put shutters. They don't mean to put a shutter on themselves, but it's so hard if they haven't got that. It's like having a brick wall in your stomach.
So how do you get them to open up then?
Some people don't. Some people you just say, I'm so sorry, which is sad really. But others have been very sceptical, and I've had 2-hour reading with them, and they've gone away, blown away, amazed, and which is incredible.
I mean, some of the stuff you say, like, there's no evidence, a scientific evidence, to explain how you would know that.
Exactly.
Can you give us an example?
I was just trying to think. I had a lady with me the other day, and bless her, she lost a nephew in an accident, and I said, and then all of a sudden I saw this triangle, and her father came through, and she said, that's the first time he's come through to me. And I said that, he's saying sorry for all the things that have, gone on in his life, but he didn't mean it. And she was just so pleased that I mentioned it, and, so I know you can't sort of, for confidentiality reasons, that sort of thing.
Of course, yeah.
But no, they all seem happy and overjoyed. So I love it when I have, when I bring children through, young people through, and they're just running around.
I mean, you yourself must get quite emotional. So how do you manage to stay professional?
The spirit will do it for you. You kind of. It's almost like I'm sitting in the back of my head, really. Me as Chantel, and a spirit world are working. They sort of they're at the front of my head.
Yeah.
I'm an observer,
and
I'm talking, they're talking through me. I don't sound like them or anything like that, but I can describe how they look. I don't normally say I've got grandma, granddad, because that's not evidence. I like to prove that, this lovely lady had blonde curly hair, and she's very slim and lovely blue eyes. And that, to them, is evidence. So
I remember one particular incident you were giving me and my mum a reading. Actually, it was recently.
Yeah.
You said something, basically, next, I don't know, they might listen to this, I don't know if I should say it, the one I'm talking about. All right, I doubt they would listen to this. Basically, next door neighbour's cat had passed away, and then you came out with something that absolutely shocked me and Mum. And this is a good example of how you could not explain things and like how you would know things. I mean, you can't tell them anything, otherwise there's no you wouldn't prove it to them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if what you call feeding the medium.
Yeah, exactly. Never ever feed the medium.
Yeah.
Don't give any names. Don't give any descriptions. Otherwise, it won't work. It's silly, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's not evidence, and that's what I'm all about. I know there are mediums out there who are fakes and can hurt people. I've had a friend who had a terrible reading the other day, which was cruel, and that person should not be working as a professional medium.
So can you tell us? Obviously, don't leave out all the details that you can't say.
Oh, the reading that I gave you, I remember I saw half a cat. I saw half the body of a cat walk into their conservatory, and they were just like,
I know! Like, seriously, it was the most unbelievable thing. You can, I know I'm getting really, like, involved in this, people, and it's like, we're getting, like, the levels of the sound might go up and down, but I will edit it to the best of my ability, but it's because we're so passionate about it and we feel so, personally, I am not as connected to the spirit world as you.
I think you are.
Because you've done it for years.
Yeah.
But we both feel so passionate about this. And please, guys, remember, leave your comments. Tell us if you've had any spiritual experiences. And just, like, we want a conversation and we can talk about it. And any questions you have for Chantal, please leave it down in the comments.
Yeah,
and
that'd be wonderful.
I
know there are, as people will probably say, there's a lot of charlatans out there. But if you do it with love and honesty, then you normally get a good reading, you know. And I do believe in all churches for the good. So bless them all. That's what I say.
Yeah. So we said that we didn't tell you about the cat, did we? Like,
no.
It's like, we don't tell you stuff. And can you give us any more
Well, there
examples?
was another time when I walked into Ben's kitchen. There was this really old wooden chair. And I said, so I see Father Christmas sitting in there. And apparently, your mum said, well, there was a Father Christmas sitting there because it was used in a shop, because they used to buy antiques and things, and he used to sit there, this gentleman.
And she said nothing to you?
She said nothing to me until I said, I can see Father Christmas sitting in that chair. And there was a gentleman dressed up as Father Christmas, so that was quite an incredible moment. I loved that one. They surprise me, the readings that I give surprise me because I don't know what's coming.
Have you ever had an encounter that scared you?
Yes.
Because you've got used to it now, but have you ever...
because I've sensed how people go over, there was one really incredible reading that I gave, that somebody was gassed in a chamber in Poland, the Holocaust, and the family didn't know they were Jewish, and I could actually... I felt that I was being gassed, the horrible feeling in my throat. And they went back and they looked up their history and found that they did have relatives that were killed in the Holocaust. So they were, blown away, really. So it was incredible. I loved that. Well, not loved it, but... and also, if somebody has murdered somebody, they will have like a certain smell. If I look at their picture of the one who's killed, I can smell like rotting earth and rotting vegetables. That won't leave them. It's a fingerprint. It's like a site. Well, something nasty.
Do you know they actually did that? I'm going to get sci-fi on you now.
Oh.
They actually did that in Doctor Who.
Oh, did they?
When they had this episode
Yeah.
where the Cybermen look like ghosts.
Oh.
And the Cybermen, the big metal people. They look like ghosts, but everyone. So because they look like ghosts, everyone thought they were spirits.
Ah.
And people were saying, I know it's him because he has a certain smell.
Yeah.
But like this one lady said, oh, I know it's my husband because he has the smell of cigars and he used to smoke cigars.
You can get smells through if people smoke cigars or cigarettes. I often get a feeling of being a heavy smoker in my throat, and I hate it when they put peanut butter in my mouth.
So you can actually taste
it.
it.
Yeah. It's another sense, you can taste and smell, and
that's brilliant.
Another reading I gave was for a family that they were always suspecting somebody was murdered, and I said, well, it was unsolved because at the time police didn't have the information. There wasn't any what they call it, DNA in those days. Yeah. And I said, I've got a young woman here with her shoes being taken off, and the niece was just blown away with it. Because, and I said, it was strange because if she had gassed herself in the oven, why did she have a head injury?
Yeah. Right. We can carry on.
Yeah.
But we just got to tone the graphics down a bit because it's the kids listen to this as well.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, actually, do you want to cut that bit out?
No, I can edit
that bit
it
out. Yeah.
It's fine. But yeah. So if you gave people advice, if someone's looking to open their heart up to the spirits and be more connected, if you give someone some advice, what would that be?
Well, there are some wonderful spiritual churches around. One in Bournemouth. I think there's one in Poole. There's a beautiful lady called Terry, and she helps run courses for people who are interested in opening up as a medium. So
is that how you met her?
Yes, a lot of. Well, I was living in London, wanting to move to Swanage, and I went to see her on the Friday before I went home, and said, could I have a reading? And first person she brought through was my mum.
Yeah. So if you could say, to everyone who's interested in the spiritual world, can you tell them how to connect? What would be the first thing to do?
See if you can find a meditation on YouTube. But there are so many now, which they do a walkthrough, and if you meditate, normally spirit world can connect you.
And are there places that have the spiritual energy stronger? Where is the most best place to?
Churches. Oh, so it different. You can go as somebody who's got a link to spirit world already. They can go into an old house and think, I don't feel quite right here, and pick up ghosts or. Most of the ghosts that you can pick up are residual energy, which is they've been there in the past, and it's almost like a fingerprint. Like I would describe it as a psychic fingerprint. But as far as becoming a medium, if you think you have got the skills, and it's best to go to a spiritualist church and have like a spiritual class, where you can meditate and talk through and practice. There's an amazing way of practicing, and that is through looking at, it's called scrying, looking at water bowl with a dark cloth and just stare into it and see what comes up, things like that. So.
So, are you happy to carry on? or-
Yes, yeah, I can talk for England.
I'm really enjoying this.
Good.
It's absolutely brilliant. So, if you were to give a reading to someone, obviously you give readings to people you've never met.
Yeah.
Now, some people you said are skeptical.
Yeah.
So, how do you ease the tension?
Oh, ease tension. I normally give them a cup of tea and let them relax. And when they start talking, about the weather, even it sort of brings their vibration higher. That person, they relax. Once they're relaxed, then
So you like to get to know them first.
exactly, but not to know all their family history, or
Yes.
I don't ask for their surnames when I have a call. So I wouldn't be able to look them up. I know some people have done that in the past, but there's no point in cheating because what is the point?
I mean, you wouldn't have. You'd have to look up pretty much everything if you were going to be a fake medium.
Exactly. Which is silly.
So have you've met fake mediums?
I have. I've met one gentleman who actually went to prison. So maybe I'm not allowed for being a fake medium. Yeah. Yeah, he was not only a fake medium, but he did something else. So I'm not going into that. But there are charlatans out there.
Yeah.
I do it for love, and people who are interested come to me, and they normally get 2 hour readings. So
so where would you host it?
In my house, or I could go to them if they're not that far. I think I would drive an hour away if need be, but they can come to me. No, I love it. And I've started to go to churches where I would start doing platform work, where he stands in front of an audience, sort of.
Yeah, can you tell us any recent ones that's happened?
Just trying to think. I had I went into a spiritualist church and gave a reading to a few people, and they enjoyed it.
So it must be difficult to give a reading when you're in a pub because there's so much going on.
That's it, or it can be anywhere, they can hold it in halls and places, but it's normally quiet and interesting.
So when people, when they say they want to be connected, and you're telling that you told them how to connect, and if they wanted to be have a relationship with because some people are I don't know really how to put this. Like some people are you have lost your husband.
Yeah.
So do they stay with you? Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes. It's like I don't know how many people have heard the poem In the Next Room.
Because some people want to know how to get that connection back. Because you can still, guys, for anyone who's lost someone, this is a good thing to do and try to open yourself up to the spirit world, because it really helps you not grieve exactly, but I don't like to use the word. I mean, you'd never get over something like that. I've never got over my brother's death. But it's like they really help you connect. Like, put it in your words. You're better at this.
Connect with spirit world, and they're all full of love, and there's nothing, nothing offensive. I've never said anything nasty, or nothing scary. So if you're really, really interested in becoming a medium, it's best to contact your local spiritualist church, and then they can give you guides on how to meditate and things like that, and open up. And because it's quite involved, it can be quite involved, and but there are people, as I said, are out there just to make a quick buck or whatever.
Yeah.
Or,
Can you tell us anything about this? I don't want to mention it because I don't know what I can mention.
Oh, right.
But can you tell us?
Oh yes, we're doing different things, and it's one thing I would love to work. As I said before, work with the police, and that'd be great if I could help. Because sometimes inquiries are, at a standstill, and I know they use the mediums in America. I'm sure they use them over here. So, as I'm not a physically fit person, I mean, I'd love to be a volunteer in the police force, but I'm not physically fit.
Guys, if you hear me pausing and thinking about what I have to say, this is, as much as it's lovely, it's a delicate subject.
Yeah.
And it can scare people. I mean, when I have to admit, when I first met you, I was a bit scared by it.
Yeah. I was scared when I was 5. Seeing all these people walking across the landing.
And also, some people are just not. They're just not into it.
No,
they just can't be. So I'm trying to be as careful as I can. And also, there's some stuff that you can't talk about because of confidentiality reasons.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. So this is why I'm trying to be careful.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about? Natalie, you don't mind us talking about how you're connected to it, do you?
Oh, sure. Oh, yes, Natalie is really connected. We went for a walk with our dog this morning, and there was a gentleman parked opposite our car, and he opened the boot, and she could see 2 dogs. And then all of a sudden there was just one dog there, and she said, "Where's the other one?" And he said, "Oh, we lost it." And she said, "I can see a black dog." And the lady said, "Yes, it was a black dog that we had, and it died recently, did it?"
It was 13.
It was 13. It had a good innings, but it was obviously still connected to the other dog, from Spirit World, which is wonderful to think that, he's carrying on his life, because they can come visit you. People are in the house, and sometimes the lights will flicker. That's not necessarily a problem with your electrics. It can be spirit saying, "Oh, hello," And also, if you lay your keys, a lot of times that can be spirit world moving them around, just for playing. Especially if you get a young spirit, they can move pictures around and all sorts of things.
So when did you notice that Natalie had the gift?
Oh, Natalie was probably about 10, and I just gave her my ring to hold, and she was describing my grandmother's flat in London. Never been there. I mean, she'd been dead 20 odd years before she was born. And she said, "Oh, I see a piano and furniture with holes in. It's like wicker. Like Chinese bamboo." And it was quite nice sofa, blue, and this wicker work on the edges. And I thought, how did she know that? And that was, I learned after it was psychometry, because she got the link for my grandmother, and then my grandmother came to speak to Natalie in her sleep. The spirit world can come and see you in your dreams, but also give you messages. So people think, "Oh, I've seen grandma or granddad or mum and dad come to me," and then remember the dream. Sometimes it could be a message, in the future, or some sort of way that they want that person to go in their life, because they do worry about us still on the other side, as we, worry about ourselves.
Have you ever had? Do you ever get a message from God himself?
I've never been that lucky. But then maybe I've been a bit detached, in my physical life, so you really need to be able to meditate, and but I do get messages in the sense that I've never been a Bible reader, but when I've been in trouble or felt uncomfortable about things in life, I got Matthew 12 verse 13, whatever, something like that. I look at that verse and it's connected to what's going on in my life. So in a way, he does speak to me in your mind, if you know what I mean. You know, not voice-wise, say I am God, or, you know, but I know he is there and he loves me.
Okay, so let's just stop there for a minute.
Yeah.
You don't mind carrying on?
No.
I'm so loving this. It's brilliant. But what we're going to do is I'm going to read. Well, I'm not going to read it. I'll let you read it because I love the way you talk and describe it.
Okay.
But what it is, it's a chapter from the Bible.
Yes.
It's the love. I think it is cool. It's like the love bit of the Bible, really. Like that mainly focuses on love. I know you've got how Jesus was born and how he sacrificed himself and all that.
Yeah.
There's too many things to go through in the Bible, but like it's a chapter that just mainly focuses on love. So we're gonna listen to that from this lovely lady's voice.
Oh, thank you.
And and then we'll come back and talk about it more. I'm loving this. It's brilliant.
Here is a reading from the Bible, Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 to 8. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonour others, it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away.
Hello everyone, yes, that was Natalie reading that Bible verse because Chantal didn't have her glasses.
Thank you. That's true.
I mean, again, if you have listened to my radio show with Dad, you know I'm not a good reader, so that's why Natalie read it. So anyway, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
And it's been so amazing. I want to turn this into a series because I think it's a lovely subject, and I'm going to try and turn it into a series. I'm going to try and get another special guest, which is a friend of Chantal.
Yes. She's a brilliant medium.
Yes. So hopefully, I can't promise anything, but I will talk to her and we'll see what we can do. Okay. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
May God bless you.
And thank you very much for having me, Ben. It was lovely.
And again, would you like to just, any plugs?
No, as you heard at the beginning of the show, I've put my number if anyone's interested in readings. But God bless you all and have a wonderful day.
Yeah. Thank you again. And as Chantal says, may God bless you. Hello, my name's Ben Povey. Welcome to a brand new series, Spiritual Journey, where I am guided by
Chantal Sherlock. Join me as we explore the spirit world together.